Yo, what's up? You're off in God's country with Reid
and Dan Isbell,
also known as the Brothers Hunt, where we take a weekly drive to the intersection of country music and the good old outdoors. Two things that go together like green, pumpkin, colored lizards or plastic fishing baits and a big fish, dude.
Or the hot setting on your dryer and shrunken up t-shirts. Produced by MeatEater and our podcast.
Dillon Carmichael's a killer, dude.
Just a vocal destroyer.
He's a good dude. He's an incredible talent, man. Country is cornbread.
Do you think I look like him?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think you look. I'm your brother, so I've seen you my whole life, so I know the differences. But I do can see a similarity in town. If somebody if you were walking away and somebody was like, Dillon.
I've had someone literally say, dude, good to see you. Your new single sounds awesome. We're so proud of what's going on with you. And maybe like, well, I don't have a single. And then leave. And then somebody else in the room go, she thought you were Dillon Carmichael.
Megan Patrick jumped on Jason Nix's back one time before they had ever met and kissed him on the cheek and was like, I ain't seen you in forever, thinking it was me. And he was like, what?
It's funny. Anyway, Dillon Carmichael kind of looks like me, sings way better than me.
Yeah, man, he's great. He's got new music coming out. He is working his tail off, man, at making his dream come true. Comes from a family of Carmichaels,
lineage,
or Montgomerys. I'm sorry, that have been in the game. Super successful. Eddie, his mom cut a record. Yeah, he's a great dude. Great time hanging out with him. Y'all are going to love this one. Hey, and also, if you're not following us on any of the social media.
Yeah, we know y'all are listening and not follow us on social.
That's right. Let's get those numbers up.
It's easy to do.
At the God's Country Podcast, wherever you can get social media. Yeah, wherever you can get social media, it's at the God's Country Podcast. Click that subscribe button. Click that follow button. Be sure to follow along. Smash that follow button. And just follow us out there, what we're doing. We're doing crazy stuff all the time.
See you, man.
We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out in God's country.
Y'all stick with us.
Back at it. Been a minute. We're out in Nashville, Tennessee. We got our boy Dillon Carmichael on the couch, dude. Let me just read what you got going on.
You got a stat sheet?
Do I?
Stat sheet, dude.
Dang, man.
Most recently, he's toured with John Party, Cody Johnson, in the studio working on your next record with JP, John Party. We're going to dive in on all things DC here in a minute, but we're going to start this one out a little bit different with a segment we like to call What You Mad?
Sorry.
Dang, dude.
Now I'm ready.
What You Mad At? Just tell us what it is, what you're mad at. Is it your in-laws, kids, might be your boss man or your neighbor's cat? Just tell us what you're mad at. You know what's egging me this morning, bro?
You, bro?
Let me tell you what's egging me this morning, bro.
Dillon, you're happy to jump in if you'd like to.
Oh,
you don't have to. Okay.
I bought this coffee probably an hour and a half ago.
Yeah.
Still got some in the cup.
Yeah.
And you know why?
Why?
Because when the moment I bought it, it was so hot.
Gosh, that drives me crazy.
That I couldn't drink it for 30 minutes, dude. And I spilled some on my hand walking out of the store because I had the top off because it was so hot. And I even got more mad walking out. Listen, I appreciate that there is coffee that people make for me that I can buy at places. I do.
Yeah, strictly for you.
I really appreciate that.
My wife is going to see this and laugh.
I wish when you walked into a store where you could buy coffee, there was 2 coffee makers and one said
normal hot.
Scalding, sun hot coffee.
Hell hot coffee.
Yeah, drinking an hour coffee. Yeah. And then there was drink right now coffee.
Face of the sun. Surface of the sun coffee.
Summer, Indian summer in
surface of hell
SoCal
sun.
Coffee. And
hinges of the gates of hell.
I told my wife the other day, I said, when I die and I go to heaven and I see God, I see Jesus, I'm going to go, God, answer me this one question.
I've written a song about that.
Why does coffee have to be so hot that you can't drink it? I don't understand.
I still got some left. And even I'm still like.
You know what's egging me, bro?
What's egging you, bro?
So we went on vacation, went to 30A, right? The beach. Love it. Awesome. Got a little place. We love to stay down there. And everything down there is $5 million. I mean, you get a pizza, you cannot spend under $150 a meal. It's impossible. Impossible. Unless you go to Goat Feathers every time. So, I'm not going to say the name. I'm not going to mention the name. It doesn't matter because they all do this. Every time they be like, hey, Dan, can you go pick up food? We like to go pick up food and come back and just not get drunk. I mean, we go out a couple times. Anyway, so I go, I'm spending $180 on some dang barbecue nachos and a couple of curly fries. And they ask for a tip, dude. Why? I go to check out. And it's like, would you like to tip? And it suggests
on a pickup meal.
It's like decent tip, 18%. Thank you, tip, 25%. Oh my goodness, tip, 35%. And I'm like,
of $250.
Hold up a second, dude. I'm not. When I go get me a sausage egg McMuffin, I'm not tipping that McDonald's worker for handing it out the window. Why are we tipping these places? Why does everybody want to tip these days? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get.
That's egging me, man.
I get that.
That's
egging
me. And look,
I love to tip people that like at a restaurant that
1,000%.
Have y'all been to Europe?
Yes.
That's why it's bothering you. I never thought twice about it until I went to Europe, and you don't tip anyone.
That's true.
And they all just get paid more.
Exactly. I'm already overpaying for this product. That's what I'm saying. If it was, I would even feel better about giving the McDonald's guy $1 than this $1 million.
Why don't? That's something I've always wondered. Why don't food like waitresses and waiters get paid a normal rate? Why not? Why?
Yeah,
because they get paid like $3 or
It's probably
something.
some loophole thing.
Because with tips, they'd make too much money if they were a waiter or waitresses. I don't get it.
I mean, that's what's egging me, man. Dylan, what's egging you, dude?
Man, shirts that shrink in the dryer.
Oh!
Dude, this morning,
This is my favorite segment already.
Going like this.
Dude, I identify with that so hard, man. Oh, listen, I tell my wife, hey, look, new shipment of T-shirts, put them in the dryer and we're fighting. Put them in the dryer and we're fighting. Don't put them in the dryer. You can't do it.
Well, I wear 3X.
Yeah.
Like, if it's new, a 3X fits me just fresh, perfect.
Right.
And
Sure.
so I got to buy like a damn 5X and dry
Shrink it
it
down.
a few times just to get it. Because once it,
I love
But
you,
then
man.
you're dealing.
I love
yeah,
you, dude.
come on.
That's
But
exactly.
Then you're dealing with like once it shrinks, like it is like out the box, out the store.
Crispy.
You put it on, it looks like it was made for you. But you put it in the dryer, and it's almost like it doesn't shrink this way, but it just shrinks this
awkward.
way.
This
So
way.
like you constantly like the little like this thing like, and then so I'm to a point now where Jordan she just bought me a brand like this T-shirt actually.
That's a nice shirt.
Thank
Nice
you,
shirt,
man.
dude. I'll see
She
this.
do y'all shop or do your wife shop for you? You're an artist, so you got other people shop for you.
No, I shop because if my wife buys me something, it won't fit on my foot, much less my like body.
Jordan was like, I got
She's like,
you.
it's 2X, and it's like it doesn't. It's not the same. They're not all the same. There's a lot of 2X stuff that fits me perfect, but then there's a lot of 3X stuff I have to get just because I know it's going to crank down. It's dude, big dude shopping is an anxiety level you can't understand
It's to the point now
unless
where,
you've been there.
where when Jordan gets me a shirt, she's like, try it on. I think it's great. I think it'll look great on you. I'll like get it out and I'll look at it. I'll be like, yeah, dude, I'll get it out. She just spent, the money on it, and I'll get it out and I'll put my arms in it and go, and she's like, stop! Like I just bought you that shirt and you're just stretching it
Bro,
to hell
I'm gonna be honest.
already.
I'll do it in the dressing room. When I go in there, I'm like, yeah, it fits for 2 weeks.
So I walk outside and
Right. Sorry, that's a new segment called
What you mad at?
"What You Mad At."
That was great, dude. That was great.
Just to break it up a little bit, man. Just to break it up, man. I was mowing yesterday and I got mad about just nothing.
Yeah.
I was happy because I was mowing, but then, man, my kids want to ride on the. It's tough to ride them on a what's this called?
A lawnmower.
Zero turn.
Oh, zero turn.
Yeah, like riding lawnmower is pretty easy, but with zero turn, I've had to fashion in a seat.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough.
And then they have to, and then my daughter has to stand behind the seat and hold. I mean, I strap them in with ratchet straps.
Oh, your kid? You strap your kids in?
Yeah, I have to, man, because I'm like, I don't want
Like
to fall.
seatbelt.
It's like a seatbelt. I
Yeah,
make
I
a
get you.
seatbelt. Yeah.
No, I just
Don't
didn't
go
know.
too
Yeah.
No, they ride with me. It's
Have you
probably
thought about getting one of the little wagons that come right in the back? That's what I used to ride in when I was a kid.
See, I like to be able.
Not on a lawnmower though. You can't be riding. You ride on a lawnmower while your daddy was mowing the yard.
Yeah,
that's my dog.
He don't. He didn't kick a rock out and smack you in the face. Or
I mean, like it shoots it like that way.
Shoots it sideways.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
my dad used to. He used to. When I was a kid, I still am just a big dummy, and gullible as all get out.
Same.
But when I was a kid, my dad convinced me that our lawnmower had a tennis ball shooter attachment on it. All he was doing was running over tennis balls in the yard, and it would shoot out.
Because he didn't want to pick them up.
Absolutely genius. You know, I did that.
You hit a tennis ball.
Dude, that's a dad. But listen, that's a dad sleight of hand thing that I understand. We did it last night with Liza. So I got a little boy and a little girl, and my little boy eats. I mean, he's a trash disposal dude. You can't fill him up. My little girl will eat one shell of macaroni. So last night, her macaroni had gotten cold. Well, he'd already eaten all his, and so I said, "Hey, let Boone have your macaroni." Or sorry, Cheyenne said, "Hey, I'm gonna give Boone your macaroni." She went, "No," and I went, "Yeah, give it to Boone. Make sure Liza gets fresh macaroni." She was like, "Yeah, I want fresh macaroni." And I looked at Cheyenne. I was like, "See what I did there? Just a little sweepy swap thing." She was like, "Yeah, okay, big deal." I was like, "I just saved you a fight." Liza was about to get mad at it from taking it, but because I reframed it and said, "No, only the best for my princess," she was like,
all right, so he manipulates his kids' minds. No,
your dad did too, tennis ball shooter. That's what we do.
I know.
I can hear it now.
You have to, man.
You have to.
Otherwise, kids are smart.
Yeah, they're smart. They're annoying too. Golly, man. All right, sorry. Intro, go. What are we doing?
We're just hanging out, dude. What you been up to? Where you been? Give me that. I asked you that when you walked in. Give me that. Give me the run you just did. You did.
Okay.
And tell me how long. From how long it's been since you did that. Like the time within what you did that.
The duration.
Yeah, the duration.
Really, I don't know. I think it's been like a week and a half or something like that. But I went to Colorado, flew into Denver, went to Colorado Springs, came back to Denver, flew from Denver I went from Nashville to Denver, then Denver to South Carolina to New Hampshire, then Connecticut, and then back out to Omaha, went to North Platte, Nebraska after Omaha, flew back home. Well, then we rode down to Kansas City and then flew back home.
Oh, my gosh.
Got in last night. Flying out tonight to go back to Denver to start a whole 5-day
stint
thing. Yeah, but
are you doing radio stuff? What is that? What are you doing during those? What are you doing in each of those cities?
Well, all of it, just all the different stuff. Radio shows, and this week I'll do. It's like a guest host for a radio station thing in San Diego. But it's mainly shows, it's tour season, warm weather, and all that good stuff. So we're just playing shows. We've had some good shows.
Who are you out with right now?
This stint here has been headlining shows.
Nice.
Spent the January through March opening for Cody Johnson.
Gotcha.
And then I went to Europe opening for John Party. So now I'm just kind of in the headlining festivals phase. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. It's I didn't like London as much. Just lost all the London people on the list.
Oh yeah, there's millions. It's one of our largest markets for hunting country music shows.
Never playing the O2 Arena or whatever that is.
No, but they would understand because I'm not a city boy. Cities make me claustrophobic.
Same.
So we went up in this big glass shard. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Big glass what?
Shard is what it's called.
Shard.
I thought there was a shard of glass.
That's what it looks like.
Nice.
But the whole point of the building is it's basically an overlook of the whole city.
I think I saw it where you see Big Ben and all that.
Yeah. And so we went up in it, and I'm like, this is going to be cool. We'll get to see the whole city. No, you see 1/3 of the city. But you're way up there. The city is so huge. There's 150 Nashvilles.
Really?
In London. It's that freaking big.
Man, when I was there, I figured the train system out, and it was actually pretty fun, I'll have to say London to me, but we stayed a week there, and my wife came over, and I'd been by myself for 2 months. I had fun there, but it was just because like they kind of got the transit down a little bit as
so
far
you
as
can go
hopping on a
everywhere,
train
yeah.
and popping around. So it's pretty cool.
I really liked the old buildings there, like the castle, and we went to all that
Yeah,
stuff. And
did all that.
Yeah.
I do feel like once you've been in England a while, you're like, okay, another cathedral. Nice. It looks exactly like the last 12 cathedrals I saw. But that's what you go to that city, and that's what they say you need to see is like the cathedral. But
Yeah.
it rains a lot too.
But I liked all the, that's the other thing. I have to have sunshine. Have to.
Feel that.
But like all the beautiful countryside and everything was awesome. And Ireland, Scotland, and then all the other towns or whatever you call them, states or towns. I don't know.
Countries, whatever.
Yeah. Bristol and Birmingham and Manchester.
We did
some of the
Manchester.
different places we did was really cool.
Did y'all do like Switzerland, Norway, and all that stuff?
We did Norway and Sweden and Amsterdam.
Yeah.
All those were really cool. I enjoyed all those places. And I enjoyed London. I'm not saying, but it was once I went up in the Shard and I saw how huge the city was, I came back down and I was just like,
A little overwhelmed.
oh my gosh.
Oh, it is. It is.
I can't escape.
No.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Did you do any? Is there any can you do any outdoor? Can you fish? Can you?
No, dude.
No.
It's basically
It's
just like being
concrete.
in New York City.
Yeah.
It's
honestly.
like New York City times 100.
Yeah.
You can't escape.
Yeah.
Plus, man, when you're on the road like that, like, and I've said this as our lives have gotten busier as we've gotten older. Like back in the day when we didn't have wives and kids and real jobs, like we could afford to go somewhere and like spend a couple weeks because you fit the first 5 or 6 days. You could just kind of figure out where the deer hunt. I'm talking about hunting,
Right.
So we would go, we would kind of figure out, and then they're moving over here. Oh, well, we've got time, and that's how we would hunt. Well, now we can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like you got 3 days, you better get that done, or you ain't getting it done. And it's the same way with those cities. Even if you're in them for 3 or 4 days, you don't have enough time to like meet the guy that knows the guy that intros you to the guy that has the farm or has the boat or has. It's just You could just pay for it, but then it doesn't feel as good, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very true.
It's it's nice over there though. Nice.
I love it. I do. I loved everything we did over there. It was fun. Amsterdam was fun. We got on a boat and rode down the river and stuff. And
How long were you over there?
saying that. 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did
Not
you-
Amsterdam, but the whole trip was 3
Did you
weeks.
whole
find
story.
yourself like I had anxiety about getting home because I'm like, I'm so far. There's nothing I can like. If my house gets on fire, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Did you catch yourself like, man, I'm ready to get back, or were you like, I could stay another week?
I wasn't worried about I don't think it was that particularly. I just was a little bit homesick. I'm excited to get home and I mean I could have kissed the ground when I landed
Same.
back in the States,
Yep.
but I wasn't anxious or anything like that. But yeah, I was ready to get home for sure. Mainly it was the stuff, the small things that was driving me nuts. Just after 3 weeks, like we turn a door handle this way to open the door. There, you got to do it the opposite way, and then the lock is weird, and then the coffee maker's upside down, and
Yep. Driving the wrong side of the road.
wrong side of the road, and then there's like the light switch is weird, and it's like, wait, we're traveling all
Plug
over
in,
Europe, so
we
we're
try-
plugging.
That can make you miss America.
Oh
real
yeah,
quick.
and then if you want to use a hairdryer, which my wife went with me, her hairdryer about exploded because she didn't know
The plug
system and
Oh,
all
yeah.
that, and
Yeah. I nearly caught mine on fire. I flipped the prong up and would stick the 2 prongs in, and my charger would be like buzzing the whole time. And so finally I was like, I'm so sick of these chargers. And my buddy Zeus was like, dude, you're doing it wrong. Like you have to flip this thing. You know, the
Yeah, the
adapter
little-
thing?
oh yeah,
I was running it wrong the entire time. Charging my phone though.
How much time did you get off when you got back?
I immediately went back out.
Dang!
Yeah.
My guy
Y'all
gets-
need to quit working this
My
guy so
guy gets
hard.
no breaks.
Give him a guy a break, dude.
I asked for it. I said I want to work harder than anybody, so they said, all right.
Awesome.
Heck yeah, man.
But-
I'll tell you this though. I've heard it said a lot of times. It feels like getting a record deal. It's like you work your whole life up to, okay, time to start. It's like you just got to the starting line. It's not like
Yeah.
you can't slack
Everybody's
off.
dream is to move
Yeah.
to Nashville and get a record deal. But
That's
that's when
the
that's
starting
when
line.
it starts.
Yeah.
And that's hard to even get there.
Yeah.
How did that progress for you? Were you already playing shows out? Did you just move to Nashville with a dream? How did this come to be?
I moved to Nashville 2013, and wrote songs at a publishing company for 3 years. Kind of was on the line about whether or not I wanted to be an artist. Not really. That's not true. Whether I could, whether or not I had the chops, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I definitely wanted to be an artist from day one.
That's crazy.
I was like,
vocally? Are you doubting yourself vocally?
Well, back then you had to be skinny and have a certain look and certain sound, and I wasn't about to sound. I couldn't sound like that if I wanted to. I don't know. I was like, I had a publishing deal. I got a publishing deal. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna focus on writing. And I signed it when I was 18, so I'm basically a stupid kid at this point. So I just wrote songs for 3 years. Didn't think about much else. And then my publishing deal ended. I got dropped from my publishing company and tried to get another one and failed miserably. Didn't have any shows. I was kind of trying to get some shows. It was anything to make money playing music, and just epically failed. So I went and got my security license, and I worked security for a while.
Wait, that's like a bouncer?
Bouncer, yeah.
Did you ever bounce any homies? Did you bounce them out? Get out the club,
man. Where did you work security at?
Honky Tonk Central.
Dude, tell me your wild. I know you got one wild one.
Yeah,
give me a wild one.
I've got a bunch of wild ones.
All right, give me the.
I'm so glad you asked.
Yeah, give us a couple of them, man.
So I had
that place gets wild.
Yeah, I had this guy come up, and he was wearing this apron that said Merchants, which is still a restaurant down there.
Okay.
He walked up and he goes, "Hey man, I work at Merchants in the kitchen, and the bathroom is closed down for cleaning or something." And he said, "I thought I'd just come over here and use your all's bathroom."
Wait, we talking one or two, man? Hit the boo-boo?
Oh, just quick. Yeah, he's
okay.
like, "No, just quick." But I noticed instantly that he smelled like urine, which is number one sign of possibly a homeless person.
Really?
Which want to take care of the homeless. It's a problem. Not saying anything bad about homeless, but when you're running a business, I told him, I said, "Hey man, normally we only let paying customers use our facilities." He goes, "Man, just real quick. And I'm like, "Okay, all right, just make it quick, man." So he comes in, and so we're trained or taught when you start security that there's no reason anyone should be running in or out of the bar because that they're not up to any good if they're doing that. So stop them. Usually, if they're
literally running,
if they're running out of the bar, they're probably stealing something. Yeah. If they're running into it,
trying to get in without,
don't need to be running into a bar.
Yeah, there really
You're
is.
You're going to get tackled if you run into a bar.
Okay.
So
note for the people.
Note for the people.
Out there,
Note for you, Jordan. Don't be running out of bars.
Yeah.
Jordan.
So like this guy comes in, 30 seconds later, he's running out the door with the tip jar, the band's tip jar, like $500.
Dang!
Yeah.
Hit
So
close to your heart.
Just football tackle.
Oh,
boom!
Yeah. Bam!
I'm rolling around with this dude. There's money going everywhere, flying everywhere.
Ching, ching.
The rest of the security people show up, and finally. But I noticed, and we're also taught this, and law enforcement are taught this. While you're in an altercation with somebody, you got to watch their hands. And if they start reaching, your number one thing is prevent their hands from reaching for whatever the hell they're reaching for.
Knock them out.
Yeah. And so this dude's, we're rolling around. He's like, and I'm like, so I'm grabbing his arms like this, trying to keep him from reaching. Finally, the rest of the security team come. We detain people. We can't arrest people, but we can cuff people.
Do you have cuffs on you or like zip ties?
Cuffs.
Okay.
So we cuff him. Then we call the police, and then the police come. And so my boss is like, "All right, go back to checking IDs." And so they take this dude out front, and the police do what they normally do. They pat him down, and
pulled out a gap.
Pulled out a 9mm.
No way.
Yep. And I was like, I called my dad after I got off work. I was like, I just about got killed, man. He's like, you got to get out of that job. I'm like, I don't know what else I'm going to do, literally. And so, yeah, stuff like that all the time. I had a guy waving a box cutter at me one time. And the only reason was...
Why? I was about to say, why could you be so mad at a security guy?
I know. It's people that...
Probably kind of out of their mind.
They're missing screws, but it's a guy who probably I don't know if he got picked on or by a big dude or whatever.
Giant, handsome, Hurley.
Maybe I reminded him of somebody. I don't know.
Voice.
But might have been me. You might have reminded him of me.
You're the.
I get Dillon Carmichael all the time.
We got to talk about this.
Okay.
But anyway, I kicked him out for being too drunk. He was just like swaying back and forth in the bar, and that's never good. You go ahead and nip that in the bud.
So don't sway. Don't run and don't sway. You get out.
Don't be going. Because if you do,
I'm fine.
if you're doing this, then that means you're probably gonna pass out somewhere, throw up somewhere, end up in a fight.
Nothing good.
Nothing good comes out of somebody that's swaying back and forth.
Keep your sway to yourself.
Yeah,
sway on the dance floor, not at the bar.
So I kicked him out, and it made him mad. He walked away for a second, and then he came back, and I'm like, dude, don't even think about it. So he'd walk away again, and he'd come back. I'm like, dude, you're not coming in the bar. So next time he came back, he had his box cutter pulled out and doing this, just staring at me. Went on for like 30 minutes, and I'm like frozen. I don't know what to do because I have no way to defend myself.
Kill you. That could easily kill you.
Box cutter slice you up.
Oh yeah, and we're not allowed to carry a knife or a gun. We're unarmed and everything. I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I called the rest of the security team. So there's like 5 of us standing out there, and he's just like trying to pick which one he's going to cut. And I'm sitting there going like, please don't be me. Please don't be me.
This guy. This guy sucks.
But anyway, police got down there, and then it was a standoff with them, and we're all just standing around. This dude's got this box cutter.
Jeez.
And finally he's like, I'm not winning this one. So he just like dropped the box cutter, and police arrested him and walked off. And it's like 30 minutes later, I'm over here like my heart's going.
See, I feel like they should just beat the dog piss out of that guy. Because, like, that guy, there's got to be a lesson learned there, man. Yeah. You can't just, like, I was thinking back to the first story you're telling. Like, that guy, he got that merchant's thing somewhere. He dressed up to steal that tip.
He was homeless.
Yeah.
He was probably digging through the trash. He saw an old torn up apron that somebody threw away at the back of Merchant's. Took it out and said, I'm going to use this and act like an employee so I can go in and
get a tip jar.
He comes screaming
I don't even know if he planned on stealing the tip jar. Like he just wanted to get in.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll go use the bathroom. I'll steal some booze or something. Like he's like, if I can get in there, I can do something. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to do it. And so that happened to be what it was.
Carmichael security, man. That's a nice little thing to drop back to and hear some stories from.
I got asked to be a lead, which is pretty cool. Basically, they have 3 floors there. They have a lead for each floor, and a lead kind of advises all the other security people on that floor. And I accepted the job, got a upgrade in pay. To do this, and literally he offered it to me, and I knew that I'd got a record deal, but I hadn't told him yet. So I was like, at the same time, I also hadn't signed the deal either. So I'm like, I don't want to turn it down.
I need your bets.
I need the money, but when I signed the deal, he's like, I just promoted you, and I'm like, well.
See ya.
Got to take this record deal. Sorry, bud. But it was cool because then I was like able to get creative with my team and because there's a real problem down there with the security people.
Really?
Yeah, they don't know how to do it.
Really?
Yeah, I never punched anyone. Not one time in the 3 years.
Yeah, I feel like you're smarter than your average security. No offense, security guys that listen. No offense, Tyler Carlson. That's the one guy I know that does security.
You're not smarter than Ken Malgoza.
Yeah, but that's no excuse. You know, when you got that much response, when there's like elderly people that are trying to have a good time on Broadway and they get beat to, you know what I mean? It's like maybe they're not as very smart, but like we're gonna have to hire smarter people than that because that's just not acceptable.
Did you run into any people dropping stuff in drinks?
Oh yeah, yes, absolutely. It happened all the time.
Wow. Yeah, that's why I hear that and that's not something that gets talked. I mean, it's getting talked about more and more now, but that it happens, especially in Nashville, where it's like the number 1 or 2 bachelorette city in the world or whatever.
It happened all the time. And what we did was we didn't ask them to leave. We didn't kick them out on the street and say, "Get out of here." We we grabbed them because we had cameras everywhere in this place.
Smart.
We grabbed them.
So that would they radio you and be like, "Hey, guy with the red
If
shirt."
I saw it, I would radio, or if they saw it, they'd radio us. But we came in as a team, surrounded the person,
That kind of sounds fun.
and cuffed them. And then we called the police and waited for the police to get there. We did not put up with it. Like
Yeah.
they were going to jail for that.
Nice.
And we had evidence. They had cameras everywhere.
Wow.
But yeah, I would watch the drinks and I would see it happen, you know,
Like,
and bust
wow,
them
man, that
in the
is
act.
Crazy.
There you go. There's your PSA, man. Watch your
Yeah, and they
watch
I
your
mean,
drinks.
I haven't been down
sure.
there forever, but somebody I was writing with the other day told me that like they're selling, or like some of the drinks come with a lid now.
That's
Like-
great, yeah.
Like that you literally can't drop anything in.
Do they do an upcharge of $30 for
Probably.
the lid?
Yeah.
Hey, could you tip for this lid that we just gave you? A nice tip would be $83.
I mean, if somebody drugged me, I'd be mad at that
That's
too.
true. If
I'd be
they
like, "You
say
just
me,
ruined
it
my
might be worth it."
$15 drink."
Yeah. Ain't nobody drugging us, bro.
So you said you got a record deal while you took another job, or you walk us through that.
I accepted a promotion, yeah. And then, I'd been talking to the label I'm with now. I've been with them for 8 years. I'd been in talks with them, and we had came to a negotiation and all that stuff, and we just had to sign. But like I said, you know, things fall out and things happen, so I wasn't about to quit prematurely because I was living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
On a good day,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, I put in my 2 weeks and signed my deal. Immediately got to work, writing and being an artist and working on a record and all that good
Figuring
stuff.
it out.
Yeah, figuring it out. It was kind of cool because I got to pick my first producer that came to mind, anybody I wanted to work with, and I'd really enjoyed the Chris Stapleton stuff and the Sturgill Simpson and all that stuff that was going on at that time, and I was like, that guy, Dave Cobb, that's who I want to work with. So I did my first record with Dave Cobb. Then I went on radio tour, and country radio wasn't quite ready for a
Traditional boy.
traditional. You know, the song was 6 minutes, and it was a waltz.
Yeah.
And it's just such, you know, but yeah, it was cool. The radio tour, people were like, "Oh, you're gonna hate that, man. You just wait till."
What was the first song?
It's called "Dancing Away with My Heart."
Gotcha.
Yeah, and everybody warned me. They're like, "You're gonna hate radio tour," and I loved it. I'm on like my third one now, and I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
I I became really good friends with a lot of the radio folks now after, you know, all these 6 or 7 years I've been doing it, and it's an ever changing business, but I love the radio. I grew up hearing my uncles on the radio. My uncles.
Oh yeah, dude.
I was about to say, dude, it's in your. I mean,
We know,
if
but
there's
tell the
anybody
listener,
that
yeah.
if there's anybody that it's in their blood, literally in their blood, bro. It's you. Your mom did it. She sang all
Yep.
around the country, man.
Yep.
Your uncles, yeah.
Mhm.
Tell us about that.
My mom had a music career in the early 2000s. Becky Montgomery is her name. She was busy raising us heathens. And so she spent some time in Nashville, but ultimately she came back home and she did one album. Her brothers went on in the 90s to have success in country music, which my uncles, John Michael Montgomery. And then a lot of people actually don't know, John Michael's brother is Eddie Montgomery, half of Montgomery Gentry.
Little success.
So those are my uncles.
decent.
and
They worked a little bit.
so heard them on the radio. So I've always had appreciation for country radio.
What was it? When I was 13, I was
Yeah.
falling fast for a blue-eyed girl in my own
That's right.
room class. Tried to get the courage to ask her out. It was like trying to get oil from a water. Is that right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Give it a whirl. That's all right.
Yeah. Life's a dance.
Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't matter what you don't know.
Life's a dance, you learn as you go.
Jam.
Yeah.
Jam.
I love that stuff.
Was it normal? Like Like, did you know that you were, or was it just your uncles up there? Or like, did you know you're watching hit songs, hit
I mean, they were
makers?
massive,
I was young.
dude. You
they were
had
massive.
to know.
I was young. I was born in 93, and his first hit was 94. So he was like predominantly through when I was a child, a young child.
Which one were we talking about? John Michael?
John Michael,
Okay.
yeah.
What's your favorite John Michael song?
Probably I Swear. Yeah.
Jam.
Where I love the way you love me.
I swear.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I see the That's too high. Let's go A on it. I see the questions in your eyes. I know what's weighing on your mind, but you can be sure I know my part, 'cause I will stand beside you through the years. You'll only cry those happy tears, yeah. When time turns the page, our love won't age at all. I swear,
Come on, man.
by the moon and the stars in the sky, I'll be there.
I'll be there.
Killer.
I swear.
Killer.
I could go forever. man.
Killer.
That's a jam.
Were you
Jam.
Like, were you going? Was your mom traveling at all? Like watching him play shows? Were y'all going, or just like local stuff when he come around town?
I mean, it had to be like two
More.
when this is going
I was
down.
pretty young
Yeah.
at
I
this
guess that's
time.
true, yeah.
I remember it. I remember it vaguely, bits and pieces of it, but I remember more Montgomery Gentry doing their thing.
What's
in
your
the
favorite
early
Montgomery Gentry?
2000s.
Let's do that one. Let's do that one.
No, well, yeah. Let's see. Montgomery Gentry. I don't know why this is my favorite song because it's kind of random, but they had a song called "She Don't Tell Me To."
Oh, I remember. I vaguely remember that. That was a hit, though, wasn't it?
I was a hit. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was a hit.
She don't tell me.
She don't tell me to.
Yeah, I remember it.
I just love that song. It just
That was a jam.
struck a chord with me even as a young man, but even now when I listen back, it's like it's so weird. Out of all the songs I could have liked, I like this one, and it still relates to me so much.
I think My Town was my jam, dude.
Yeah,
It's my town.
I was listening to one the other day. Hell yeah, you know that one.
I do.
And I was
do.
cracking up, and I asked my wife. I said, "Do you think?" Because the
Hell
whole
yeah.
thing is Troy.
Turn it up.
Oh, that's right.
The whole thing's
Guitar,
Troy
banner,
singing,
banner.
except there's one little part where Eddie goes, "Hell yeah, turn it up, right on."
right on.
I'm like, did he come all the way to Nashville from
Oh,
Kentucky
yeah.
to say those three words that day?
It's that
or
little
what?
bridgy part. I know. Hell yeah. So that's the only part he sings the whole thing?
Yeah, and
Right
it's
on.
crazy because Eddie can sing his ass
Can he?
off. Oh yeah, God yeah. But on that song, you just go, "Hell yeah, oh yeah, right on."
That's hilarious, man. So, I mean, you were surrounded by mega vocalists. Just, it was in your blood.
Well, I did. The only thing I knew was something was weird because like none of the other kids in school. Well, you got to think from the moment I was
It's true.
born, this is
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I got in school, I was like, none of the other kids, uncles or mom, family does this kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
that's when I was like, okay. Once I started understanding, I was like, this is a different situation than most. But I remember being in elementary school. I don't know what grade, and there was I guess the parents had to have a talk about it, but parents were sending their kids to school with pictures of John and Eddie, and like in the morning asking me to like write my name on it
Really?
as a
Signing
kid.
autographs. Homeroom.
Like, what?
Hey, my mom asked if you could get this to your uncle
in the
and
lunch
then
line.
bring it back
Exactly.
next Wednesday.
Oh,
Exactly.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
Which is totally inappropriate.
Yeah, don't do that.
I mean,
If you have famous people that go to your kids' schools, don't do that. Don't send pictures.
When was the first time you were like, or was it from the jump? You were like, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. Is move to Nashville and chase this life.
Did you sing specials at church coming up?
no.
Oh, you didn't?
No,
Reid did.
wasn't a church guy. No, I'm a believer and I love church. Did grow up and going to church, but we didn't sing in church for some reason.
Gotcha.
But I got into rock. Like I grew up with country music family. I rebelled against it pretty hard when I was a teenager for whatever, because that's what teenagers do.
Yeah, I did too. I did too.
And so I was like, I'm a rock guy, man. You know?
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna make no money.
I'm gonna be pissed off at the world.
Look how mad I am. I'm gonna get hoop earrings.
And I loved Seether.
Yeah. Okay.
3 Days Grace.
Man.
I was big, which is kind of a different era, but I was big into Stone Temple Pilots. Well, the reason was Velvet Revolver was around then.
Love that, man.
And I loved Slash. I loved Guns N' Roses and all that stuff. And Stained was one of my favorite bands. I was big into the grunge scene and like the 90s rock. And
that's late 90s right there.
Late 90s rock stuff. And so I had a band, and I was like, we were kind of like a little bit emo or something, and kind of we were trying to play the part.
I can't see you. I've only known you as Dillon Carmichael now. I can't see you all emoed out, dude.
I didn't fit very good.
What did your hair
didn't.
Look like?
Oh, it was short. It was buzz short.
Down?
No, buzz short.
Buzz guy.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're mad.
I was like emo country.
Oh yeah, me too.
You know,
so
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, but anyway, me and this band,
it's hard to be emo when you talk like us.
I know. Well, that's kind of the story. And so I rebelled against country so hard, and everybody wanted me to do country. Obviously, my uncles and my mom and everybody did country. So they're like, when are you going to sing country songs? They hated my rock thing.
I bet they did.
And they did. They're like, this is stupid.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I probably would have hated it.
Yeah, I promise.
They said this is stupid. Come on, man, this is stupid.
We
Get
see
out
right
of this.
through this, dude.
But at the same time, I'm like 14 years old.
Oh, yeah,
15 years old or something.
Man.
And then Aaron Lewis from Stained went country.
And you're like, okay, maybe.
I was like, oh. And it was real cool. His first song he put out, Country Boy.
Yeah.
I was like, this is me, man. Heck yeah. And so as I'm learning the guitar and all this stuff and singing country songs, that's my go-to tune right there. I love that song.
Cool.
Talking about the flags flying in the yard and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, buddy.
So you're still patriotic. You were just getting back to your roots.
Yeah.
Of who you
Right.
were. Yeah,
Right.
I know. I feel
And then,
walked that.
which I knew Haggard and Jones and all that stuff. I mean, one of our sayings in the family is,
can't wait.
I don't want to say this.
Say it.
Yeah, you got to now. What are you talking about? You can't.
I
not
can't
say
go
it.
back now, but
It's at 44:29 in
I
case
just
we
want
need
to say
to
I
trip.
love George Strait.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of George Strait.
Yeah.
You prefacing this with that?
Yeah, it's a disclaimer.
I'm a disclaimer.
Yeah.
Love George Strait.
No worries.
Respect the crap out of George Strait and everything.
Still going.
One of our sayings is like, King George is George Jones to me.
I don't think
You know
there's
what I
anything
mean?
wrong with that.
I'm sorry, but I love the bars are all closed. It's 4 in the morning.
Dude,
You do a good
Must have
George Jones.
shut 'em all down
Yeah.
by the shape that I'm in.
come
Hey.
on.
You know,
Come on.
like that was the kind of. So I grew up on all that stuff, and so I knew
that.
it. I was
I've seen
familiar
that
with it.
argument that George Jones is the greatest country voice of all time. I mean, it's
If
definitely
George
up for
Strait
debate.
was sitting right here right now, he'd be like, "I agree with you."
Probably
Yeah,
so.
probably so.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think.
Yeah,
but,
I do too.
but there's two King Georges.
There's just
we'll go with that.
There's just literal. Okay, there's just a feeling that comes with George Jones that you could almost hear that he lived that.
Oh,
if
yeah.
that makes sense. I don't know if I'm
100%.
putting that right, but it's like the pain
Yeah.
is in the notes, bro.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you do that exactly unless you've lived it. I mean,
and you don't get that from anybody. Like he's
not
got the-
anybody. Some people do.
Well, I'm
that.
just saying you don't get that George Jones feeling from anybody else. Like George Jones is George Jones.
Yeah.
The only vocal that you're going to hear like his is his.
Oh, it's clean too, man.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
so good at
Dude
it.
That
can
joke is
sing,
in the
man.
middle of the
Very
notes.
unique voice.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I don't think that's even taboo, honestly. I think that's a legit.
I don't know,
Argument.
man. George Strait hardcore
Oh,
fans.
Well, there's probably
For
there's
sure.
probably
and there's a whole bunch of them.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. I mean, for me, the voice if it's not George Strait, is Haggard for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I love George Strait's songs.
Yeah.
Right. But when you're talking about like the voice,
Haggard. Yeah, man.
it's Hag for me, dude.
Yep.
It just is. I don't know. Anyway.
I've been throwing horseshoes.
Dude, mine is Old Habits.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Good.
Anyway, sorry. I can go forever.
But,
Well, that's great. Okay, we've
So Hank's in there too.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Junior's in there. All right, sorry.
Let's go. Let's revert back to some outdoor stuff. Like growing up. If you've got, it doesn't sound like you have many days off, but if you had your perfect day off on a Saturday, you get back home Friday, you got nothing on the docket for Saturday. It's good weather outside.
Largemouth bass.
Come on.
Really, that's your go-to is a little spring fishing, huh?
It's my favorite thing.
How you going?
Above hunting, I love fishing. And that's saying a lot because I freaking live and breathe hunting. I love it.
See, so does Reid. I'm a hunting guy. He's the fishing guy.
Sure.
But there's nothing like a tug on a line for me. I mean, it's the best drug in the whole world. I eat it up. I get obsessed with it. There's nothing else in the world happening. If there was someone like trying to rob me at gunpoint, and I had
box cutter point,
and and I just set the hook on a. They're gonna kill me because I'm not even gonna pay any attention. I'm like
not letting the rod go.
I mean, I'm like zoned in when I'm fishing so hard that there's nothing else in the world.
What's your rod and reel look like? What's your setup? If you could choose,
I'm not a gear.
Are you bait caster?
Bait caster. That's what I grew up bass fishing with, which is
see.
super fancy. I don't know why that's what I grew up on, but
I feel like
you're real. But if you know how to work a bait caster, like you know what you're doing. You know how to catch fish. If you know how to throw a bait caster.
I forget that until I give my bait caster to somebody and they
can't do it.
Done.
Oh, what
You're done
happened
for the
here?
day. You're done for the day.
This thing keeps
pulling on it.
That's what they always say. This thing keeps rolling up.
There's something
on me.
wrong
You're
with this thing.
I don't know. I've tried other stuff. Like I've tried the straight up and down one. What's those called? Spin caster or whatever.
Reel.
Yeah, and those are cool too. I like those with like crappie and brim or whatever because they're kind of easy, light stuff. Yeah. The Zebco 33 was around for sure in my life when I was younger, but that reminds me more of sitting on a bucket and throwing out 4 or 5 of those suckers and catching catfish or whatever with some night crawlers. But fishing plastics, largemouth bass, bait caster.
You've been able to do any this spring? Because we're in the middle of it right now. My dad, we've got a lake behind our house, and my dad's out there every day, and he's sending me pictures of 7s, 8s. Son, he is cracking them right now.
Yeah, I bet.
We whooped them last week.
Those
man.
cicadas, I think, have really helped a lot.
Middle of the day, man, we were smacking them.
Gosh, cicadas are a thing too. Somebody told me the other day that the last time the cicadas came, their granddad, they walked over, they were going to go fishing. Their granddad had a Ziploc, picking them off trees.
Oh,
I thought about that. I thought about it on the way in this morning.
Froze them.
Yeah.
And dude,
I swear I thought about that.
Fish with them.
That's super smart. If you just got a bunch, froze them, and then just use them over the next months where they're like kind of not around.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Yeah.
I thought about that. That's crazy.
Burn them up. And the good thing, too, about this whole cicada thing is next year, there's going to be some hogs because they're getting plenty of nutrients this year.
They're getting their protein. I mean, my neighbor said, man, come down there and get some of them eggs. I was like, why? He's like, because they're eating all the cicadas laying 2 a day.
If that ain't country right there, buddy.
Chickens are laying 2 a day from these protein from these cicadas.
If that ain't country. I like that. I like that. Keep talking, Dan. I'm gonna put something on my phone right quick.
David Allen Coe.
Is that a song?
If that ain't country, I'll kiss your ass. That ain't country.
Oh, man.
We can write the new version of that.
Let's leave that
song
alone.
I agree with y'all, by the way.
On what?
God's country.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's pretty country. I'd say he's country.
I think so, too. He is, dude. He's got to be, man.
Is that what y'all meant by that?
He's definitely not a city. He's definitely not a city,
dude. When I think of heaven, I don't think of London. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's a solid.
I think of man, gold streets and big lakes and just
10
hilltops.
10 pounders and
right.
200 inchers.
That's right.
You asked if I'd got to go yet. I have not, and I am itching. I mean, as soon as I get an opportunity, I'm ready to rock. But I did this one thing the other day. We were at a restaurant, that we were walking in, and there was just a good little spot for me to run up and throw one cast.
Oh, at the restaurant.
And I said, babe, you're going to hate me for this, but I'm going to go get my pole and I'm going to cast one time. And if I don't catch anything, we're done. That's just one.
Hold on a second.
This is where I live.
Okay.
So you're at the restaurant?
Walking into the restaurant.
Where's
It's
your
on the
pole?
water. It's in the back of my truck.
That's my guy, dude.
It's been in the
That's
back
my
of my
guy.
truck
Is
for
it on-
like 5 years.
Is it on
That's
Old
my
Hickory?
guy.
Or where's
Yeah,
that?
Old Hickory.
So you're like, there's one spot. My thing's in the truck. I'm gonna grab it. Throw
Let
it.
me
It's
just go
already
grab
hooked
it real
up.
quick.
What you got on? Like
I had a
lizard or something?
one of them missile. What are they called? Little creatures,
There's a creature bait.
Okay.
little creature baits.
Okay.
It's like a
Brush baby
green
or-
pumpkin.
Yeah.
You know,
solid,
Undefeated.
yeah,
In
pretty
Tennessee,
much.
undefeated.
Oh God, yeah.
Get them with the.
I
little,
don't
get 'em
even
with
buy
the,
anything
Get them
else.
with the little watermelon red flakes in them.
Yeah.
It's over.
That's what we're
I don't
catching
even
on.
have bad days with those things. I mean, I literally throw it up on the bank, like say the edge of the
Oh,
bank's right
yeah.
there. Throw it up on the bank. I've got it down to where I can just
You know exactly
just
where
right land it right where I want it.
Yeah, baby.
One little pull
Oh, he's in the
down
water.
in the water. Bam!
Bam, nail him right there.
Every time.
That's what
and
I'm
just
talking
eating it up, man.
Just turning me on right
but
now. Keep
You
talking,
talking
daddy.
dirty to me.
Keep talking, daddy.
I don't need anything else. That's the
No,
only bait
dude.
I use. I swear.
Yeah.
And I'm not sponsored by this.
I'm
company.
agreeing with
I wish I was because I spend a lot of money on
Maybe
those
we
things.
work on that.
Yeah, but anyway, I saw it was already on there from last year. I went and grabbed it, and I'm like, babe, what if I caught my first fish of the year on one cast? That'd be crazy. So I assumed that maybe they were out there a little bit. So I threw it pretty far, and also I was going to get more coverage. So I'm like, I'll cover more.
You only got one
I'm
cast.
dedicated
You
to
gotta
catching
sling it if you only
my
get one.
first bass on this one first
sure,
cast of
sure.
the year. And I'm pulling it, and I get it up to the bank, and I'm about to reel in it. I'm at this point like 2 feet from the bank, from the edge of the bank, and I was about to
you're
reel
pulling
in.
it into you.
I'm like, it's over. I ain't doing
Yeah.
it.
So
And
you're
I'm like,
real
you know
slow.
what? I'm just going to pull it right up there on the edge. Because last summer when it was hot, they were pretty much on the land. They were so far up onto the bank that you could reach down and grab them.
Yeah.
That's how shallow they were. So I just kind of pulled it up. I could see it in the water, and you can't see a bass.
No.
You can't see it unless maybe if you have your special glasses or whatever.
Right.
But
Polarized.
and I pulled it up in there, and he just rolled.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
He grabbed it and rolled. I saw the water move. I'm like, oh shit, pop. And I mean, just as soon as I set the hook, he came out of the water.
Man, that's
And I'm
awesome.
like, yeah. First cast of the year.
Dude, that feels good.
And then she goes, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Okay,
throw that fish back.
I'll put it
Throw it
back.
back.
We
Let's
went
go
and ate. But so I'm ready to go because I know it's going to be a good year.
What does it do for you mentally? Because, like, I mean, you know, and we all know as creatives, songwriters, artists, like, you can't turn it off. It is a constantly, the mind is going all the time, man. What does getting out on the water, catching some fish do for you?
I mean, like I said, there ain't nothing that can faze me when I'm fishing. I mean, there ain't a worry in the world, but it might be a little bit of because no obsession is probably healthy.
yeah.
I'm a little bit too obsessed with it. I'm like, my wife's like, do you ever think about maybe getting me some flowers or something and like making me smile? And if it's fishing season, so I gotta.
Fishing
Look,
season, I like
love. My wife loves fishing too, and so I'm trying to figure out how to get because she knows how much I love it, and I love her so much. I'm like, we got to get her a kayak, so at least if she don't want to fish, she can lay there and get a suntan or something.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
But she knows how much I love it, and it does. It's really, if I could just hang out with my wife and just go fishing whenever I want, that'd be the life right there, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
Yeah, it would. It would until September got here, and then it would.
Transfer.
Well, I know. There you go.
Yeah, for sure. No, me and Reid are both lucky. We have wives who understand it and came into it knowing. The trouble is when you go, oh no, I don't do any of that. Get married, and then you want to do it, right?
No, you gotta be up front.
You got to be up front from the jump and go, hey, this is what I told Cheyenne, legit. I said, I do music, and I'm out of here September Well, at the time it was September to December. Now it's more like August to January.
Yeah.
Because there's other things you can hunt in those months I didn't know about at the time. But she was like, hey, I get it. Like if that's what keeps you sane, and and I'm not gone, and especially when you start having kids, you slim that down even more. But I feel like if you're just upfront with it, it's an easier fought battle than trying to act like you don't like the outdoors when you really do.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Honesty's the best policy, dude.
Yeah, no doubt.
Especially in marriage.
No doubt.
All right, so you're on tour. You were on tour with Cody. You're on tour with Party. What do you got going? You Luke Bryan in this fall, dude?
Yes.
Come on. That'd be a
summer, actually.
Okay.
Starting this month.
Of course. Where you gonna be?
That's a good question. I'd have
Everywhere.
to. Let me ask my people.
At bus call whenever they say be there.
Right.
That's where he's going to be.
On a plane. On a bus. Yeah.
I'm excited. I love Luke Bryan. I love I've seen him live like 5 or 6 times. Was huge fan when he first came out with We Rode in Trucks.
Jam.
And I remember hearing Rain is a Good Thing for the first time ever, and I was like, dang, this is a banger.
All my friends say.
And all that stuff.
Yep.
Made me a fan of him. And then, we watch him on TV and stuff, and he's just country as all get out. And then his manager saw me at the ACMs at Top Golf. And she's like, you ever met Luke? And I was like, no, I've never met him. I'd love to, though. And she goes, well, come here. And so I follow her, and then he's like surrounded by all these people. But he sees his manager. He's locked on her.
Sure.
And she goes, come here. And so Luke came over, and she introduced us, and we got to talking. And he had all these people like moved. Anyway. They move around him.
Oh yeah, it's his own little like ecosystem.
It's
they like follow him around.
It's like a little like bees buzzing around him or something.
Absolutely.
It's like if he moves over here, they follow him.
Yeah. Sure.
Just like all these people, and they're tapping him on the shoulder,
While he's
just
talking
bugging.
to you?
Oh yeah, just bugging him to death.
Dude.
So I'm like, well, man, I talked to him for a minute, and I'm like, well, man, you got people want to talk to
You
you.
got people tapping on your shoulder.
And he's like, no, you're good. And we keep talking a little bit more and talk a little bit more, talk about hunting, fishing, whatever. I'm like, well, buddy, you got a lot of people want to talk to you. And he's like, no, you're good. Stay. You don't have to. And we keep talking a little bit more, talk about music, talk about this. Like 10 minutes go by, and I feel so awkward. I'm like, all these people want his attention, but he's talking to me.
Yeah.
And then it hit me. He wants to talk to me. He don't want to talk to those other people.
Yeah.
He wants to talk about hunting. He wants to talk about fishing.
But by the time we were done, I was like, that dude was super cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, super nice guy. And he just wanted to know about me, and he didn't want to talk about himself. I was asking him questions about himself, and he would divert it back to asking me questions about me. And normally, you get somebody that wants, you ask some questions about themselves, and you don't open a can of worms. And they're going to talk about themselves and themselves and themselves. Like Toby Keith said, I want to talk.
We'll talk about me for a minute, man.
But he was super cool, super nice guy. So I'm excited to get to know him a little bit better on the road.
Yeah, you will.
That'll be fun.
He's a good dude.
You in the studio working on some new music with John Party?
Yeah, that's right. And Jared Conrad now. So John and Ryan Gore, we're going to go back in, I think, in the fall and do some more stuff. But earlier this year, we recorded some stuff. And John is, as y'all know, is busy, very busy guy.
Yeah, busy.
So I wanted to continue recording music. So we started working with a guy named Jared Conrad, who's fantastic too. Like I said, we'll go back in with John Party, and we're going to have a big old record for everybody. So we have a lot of stuff on it. I can't wait for everybody.
It's been a minute since you put one out, right?
Oh man, I'm beyond excited.
That's awesome.
Good.
I mean,
Good for you.
good stuff, buddy. So
Single climbing. Single's doing good.
yes, sir.
Where's
yes,
that at
sir.
right now? 18?
23.
23.
Yeah, last I heard. So
It'll be sniffing up there real soon.
That's
That's
awesome.
fun.
man, it's crazy. It's
All
crazy.
right. Get us into
What
it.
we doing?
I'm waiting for you.
time?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's been an hour already?
Yeah.
Dang.
What? Oh, yep. Forgot. I do it every time.
I'm sure that was important, what you were trying to say. But it's that part of the show for the one that got away. We like jingles, Dylan. We like jingles, dude.
Yeah, man. If anybody out there wants to pay us to write jingles, make sure it's a lot of money.
Holler at our manager. We do something called the one that got away, and it could be a fish, it could be a big old 12-pounder that you knocked off your dad's hook like I did. It could be a deer.
Yep.
Don't say a girl, you got a wife.
It could be you.
It could
Homeless
be
man
you.
could have chased you or something.
It could be
You
a
got
gift
away from the
card.
box cutter guy.
Could be a gift card, yeah. Do you have a one that got away?
Yeah. Last year, it was still bow season, and
A little hunting. Feels good.
Yep.
Yeah, we haven't really talked
Feels
about
good.
it.
I'm ready.
Oh.
I'm ready.
It was bow season, and I was in this stand. It was kind of a spot on the farm that everybody that hunts there on the lease, they were like, well, nobody's really been seeing anything down there, and I just tried it out. It was being risky.
Is this Kentucky or Tennessee or
Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I get up in the stand and I'm sitting there. I'm there all day and all night. And finally, evening time rolls around, starting to,
Golden
get
hour.
toward
all day sit?
Yep.
Like respect. Put some
Yeah.
respect on his
That's
name.
been rut, right? Was it?
Well, it's 2 hours away. So when I go down there,
Oh, you
I
go.
got
You're
to,
hanging in.
Yeah.
Love it.
I got to, yeah, it was
Appreciate
rut.
Love it.
It was rut. But he came walking down and I've never taken a big buck, like a big buck, like over 140.
Yeah.
Like I've never taken one.
Dude, with a bow too, man. That's
Yeah,
super
and-
hard.
In Tennessee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my just a little backstory. My dad was always from a young age. I was in a tree stand at 3 years old, and he literally ingrained, do not shoot a buck that's not
Yeah, young deer.
a bit,
Yeah, man.
Love your
and,
dad.
And so
I did the same thing.
it actually did the opposite for me. I let so many bucks walk. Even I was probably should have taken one,
Same.
like when you're 12 years old and you let a 120 or you shoot a 120, you know what I mean?
3-year-old 8-point boy.
But I,
Gotcha.
Yep.
Get
And
it.
so
Yep.
I still to this day have been waiting for the right first big buck. And this 150 to 160, I'm not real good at judging based on
Big.
sight. Monster.
Mm.
Big old bleached looking white
Ooh,
rack.
Yeah, talk dirty. I love it.
And he walks down real slow and he comes and I'm hunting over this water hole, which is why I was confused. I was like, man, if there's a water source there, I want to be over it.
Yeah.
And so he comes down to this water hole and 40 yards in front of me.
Has no idea you're there.
No idea. And I'm like, how does he not? And it just, everything worked out perfect. And I remember, I could see it right now, his head dropping down into that water hole and just like moving air coming back up. Just like majestic. I'm like, oh shit.
So where are you drawing back this time? Or
At
you
this
just,
time, I'm you know how you do. I wait for him to go down, and I make the
Make a
move,
move,
a
yeah.
little bit of a
Yeah,
movement,
Sure.
and I'm just kind of slowly getting my movement where I want to be set up.
Totally.
Move my foot a little bit here,
Uh-huh.
get my bow ready
Uh-huh.
here, and then he drops his head one more time, and I pull back,
Oh, snap.
and now I'm standing there waiting for a broadside shot,
How far is he from you?
40 yards,
Okay.
and
Third pan, dude.
And I was sitting there already thinking, and this is where I screwed up. I have not been shooting enough this year.
Oh, no. You can't do that.
I have not been shooting enough.
gotta be
You
this
got
year.
blocked out. You got to bounce that one out the door, dog.
Because
That-
I'm
Throw
already.
that one out the club,
Yeah, throw
dude.
that one out
Oh,
the
dude.
Get
club,
back to the
man.
thoughts of you holding him in front of
Oh,
the
I
water
know. I know. And because I'm already sitting there going, like my back muscles
Mhm.
are not trained
They're
yet.
like, hey,
I'm
dog,
like,
time
shit.
to let this go, buddy.
And so he finally turns broadside, and I'm like, and dude, I knew instantly that I missed him.
Oh, this is hurting
Knew
my stomach.
instantly, and he jumped, took off. I went down there. I found my arrow. It was
Dry.
it was basically a It wasn't no man's land. It was brisket shot, just barely. Like I bet
high.
it just a little.
It was high or low?
It was low.
Low.
It was that
low forward.
Oh,
yeah,
I got you.
yeah, and it was just it's just I can't even talk about it. So he's still around.
I was about to say, did you get pictures of him after?
He's still around. They've caught him on camera a few times. So maybe
You got a picture of him?
I'd have to probably. Send
Oh,
a
you don't have to
message,
do it now.
but-
I'd just like to see it.
Yeah.
Got one. That's
I'll
the
send
one
it
that
to
got
you.
away, dude.
Yeah.
For sure. For
Man.
sure.
But maybe not. Maybe he's the one that got away. That
Yeah, keep us
you'll-
updated on that because if you
Will
tag
do,
him, that's
yeah.
all.
Oh, yeah.
Get away.
I absolutely will, buddy.
Get him a muzzleloader.
Yes.
if you're around.
I'm gonna go this year and try to get him. You know, if somebody else don't. But the good thing, that farm's big and it's, you know, I think that buck just based on his behavior is not a traveler. You know,
He's
hanging close. So
I can see your pain, dude.
Oh,
I can
my
still
gosh.
feel it. 'Cause
Yeah,
I've
this
been
is
there.
legit. This
But
might
this
be-
is like a thing that
Yeah,
like
it's
deer hunters
it's weighing
and
in
bow
the room
hunters.
right
Deer
now.
hunters,
Bow
in
hunters
general, but-
especially.
it's tough, man. It's bow hunting is really tough, and I have it's probably about time I should listen to my friends and retire my Matthews Outback that I've had for a long time. But when I'm shooting the target, you know, 3D target, I'm dead on, and it doesn't matter. That bow is just comfortable, and I'm dead on. I've killed a lot of deer with that bow, but for whatever reason, that time I was way too confident in that bow, and it let me down. Let me down. I didn't.
Might be time though.
Yeah,
We got a guy. We'll put you in touch with a guy. We got a guy.
Yeah, dude,
I've got one. I've got a newer.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what the brand is, but brand new, just freshly strung. I pack up the Matthews. It's like a habit. I don't even think
there's
twice
anything wrong
about
with
it.
that.
I don't
man.
either.
think there's anything
I don't
wrong
think
with
it
that.
is. Gravorite.
Yeah, we do a Gravorite tune. So greatest / favorite equals Gravorite song, country song for you.
Give me a G. Here,
Yeah, you
You
get
do
it.
it, boy.
give me that G chord. So you want me to
You do it. If you do.
tilt my mic down?
No, I got you.
Okay. Okay.
Put yours in. Yeah, and I got your guitar.
It goes like this. Well, I'm just a singer and natural born guitar ringer, kind of a clinger to sad old songs. I'm not a walk behinder, I'm a new note finder, but my name's a reminder of a blues man that's already gone. So I started drinking, took some things that messed up my thinking. Yeah, I was sure sinking when you came along. I was alone in the spotlight, not too much left in sight, but she came and took, I fucked it up again. We'll do the chorus. Hey baby, I love you. Hey baby, I need you. Hey baby, you ain't got to prove to me you're some kind of macho man. You wasted so much of your life running through the dark nights. Let me shine a little love light down on the blues man. I love this verse. I got cuffed on dirt roads, and I got sued over no shows, but she came and took all that old load down off this blues man. Hey baby, I love you too, and hey baby, I need you, and yeah baby, I do get tired of this traveling band. I'm 30 years old now, and Nights would be cold now if you hadn't stuck it out with this blues man. I'm 30 years old now. Night sure would be cold now if you hadn't hung around this blues man.
Kids dirty.
You know what I love about that
Kids
song?
filthy.
Hank Jr. wrote it by himself, and it's the first verse is from the perspective of her talking to him, and the first chorus is her talking to him. But the second verse changes perspective, and it's him talking to her. Which, if you did that as a writer in Nashville today, everybody would be like, "Can't do that, man. Why'd you do that?
Yeah, you get laughed out of the room.
Can't change
they say it's
perspective
not
like
linear. Yeah. The listener doesn't know that you're changing perspective.
that."
Right. That's
It
what they
would be
say.
too complicated for
Correct.
the listener. But in my opinion, I think that song relates to a lot of people, and they understand what it's saying.
Isn't it crazy that then when he was putting out, he's going, I'm 30 years old now.
I know.
30. Dude, that was 10 years ago for me.
Yeah.
I'm 10 years older than he was when he sang that.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
At one time during while you were writing, I was feeling it, and I looked up at Ray, our producer
Big
guy
guy,
over there, and he was like this. He was going like in it, so like
Vibing.
yeah, vibing, dog. That was
Stanky
killer,
face.
man. That was killer.
I
Yeah,
talk-
he was stank facing
I
up there.
talked to my
Dude.
wife about stank face. she is obsessed. She loves it. She's like, she just like watches all the guitar players and stuff now when we go to concerts. She's like, babe, he's doing stank face.
Dude, you can't help, dude.
I'm like,
Especially when you're
Tell her
crushing
to
like
watch
that.
John
man.
Mayer.
Yeah, there you go.
Dude, let me tell you something. You're and I've known this, but Reid talks about it all the time. We have people on, and there's like, I guess we're learning that with some of these people that we have on, there's like a presence that follows it's in their voice. It's kind of like sewed into their voice. And you have that presence, and it's so powerful. I've always known that you were a great singer, Reid. We've always known you were a great singer, but man,
Thanks, buddy.
it's always shocking to me every time that like you really like put the pedal a little bit. You know, you feather that clutch,
gas it a little bit,
gas a little
dude.
bit. You're really great, dude.
Well, thanks, buddy.
You're really great.
Yeah, I
I'm
think so.
glad you're
Yeah.
finally getting the recognition that your songs and your voice deserve. And
Thanks, bud.
we're proud to be in your corner. For real.
Oh man, I love writing songs with you guys. We got to do it again too.
Yeah, we will.
And I remembered this from last time we wrote,
Okay.
and I haven't cut it yet, but I'm gonna tell you it's real special to me, and I don't want to.
No.
I'm going to at
you're
some
right.
point, and
You're
I don't know how that's going to manifest. But the song we just
Yeah.
wrote, my old friend,
Yeah.
a couple months ago,
Yeah.
y'all said when I record it, y'all sing background.
If you'll let
vocals.
us.
Hell yeah,
Okay.
it's done. We just got to record it.
Awesome,
So
man.
far we haven't, but
No, all good. No worries.
but
No pressure.
In some way, shape, or form, I want to record that because
Sweet,
it's
dude.
really special to me. That song's really special.
Well, dude, we love you, man, for real.
Thanks,
Yeah,
buddy.
man. Thanks
man.
for coming hanging out with us.
We
Yeah.
appreciate you. You're a great dude.
absolutely.
Incredible talent. Dillon Carmichael got new music coming out. He'll be on the road this summer with Luke Bryan. Go check him out. Dude, thanks for coming by.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. I've been looking forward to this.
That was a blast.
Yeah, and I'm a fan.
Appreciate you, big
Yeah,
dog.
buddy.
God's country, dog.
That's right. Yes, he is.
Don't dry your man's shirts. Don't dry your shirts.
Don't dry your shirts. Don't be running into bars.
No, don't run in or out of bars.
Even when you're in a fight, don't go reaching.
Don't
don't
carry box
go
cutters
reaching.
around.
Thank y'all for hanging out with us, Dillon Carmichael.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see y'all later.